Hello everybody, this is Patrick and with me Serjan. Welcome everyone to second episode of our World Cup edition of Football Unplanned.
And today we are focusing on Group B, and Group B contains England, Iran, United States and Wales. And let us start analysis of the Group B with the favorites, and that would be England.
England is the world champion from 1966, but in the recent history they aren't in very good shape. They only made 3 points in last edition of Nations League, but in the last World Cup they were on the 4th place.
So for their team, there have been some surprises with the call-ups and some injury issues because one of the players who was expected to come to the World Cup is Reece James, and he's been struggling with injuries lately. For some reason, Southgate has decided to absolutely snub the Serie A boys. So Fikayo Tomori didn't get a call-up for the World Cup, and also Tammy Abraham is left out of the squad. One would say if this World Cup was happening in the summer, like Abraham would definitely be part of it because he had a magnificent season at Roma, scoring 17 goals. But in this start of the season, he has only scored 3 goals in 15 matches so far for Roma.
Anyway, England couldn't think about, I think, any better group for them because, let's be honest, Wales, United States and Iran aren't the toughest rivals for the very beginning. And even after that, they might fight in the next round with, of course, someone from Group A, which contains, as we remember, Qatar, Senegal, Netherlands, Ecuador.
Analyzing the squad of England, one would say that the main star should be their number 9, Harry Kane. Even though he started off the season in not such great fashion, he's been very good lately and he has managed to score 12 goals until now in Premier League. Even though Tottenham is not playing their best football, he has been their savior so far.
I think everyone still remembers his very good performance at Euros, so I think maybe big tournaments is also his top priority. Everyone knows Harry Kane, but is there any young star that we should have a look on?
In that case, my focus would be on Jude Bellingham because he is only 19 years old and he has 3 seasons of senior football in Bundesliga behind him. So in case they decide to play a bit more positive football, he can serve as a good box-to-box midfielder in the England side if he gets minutes instead of Calvin Phillips, who is pretty much sitting on the bench of Manchester City on the start of this season.
Yeah, so ending with our predictions about England, I think we both can agree that England is gonna take first place in Group B.
Yes, I would definitely agree because I think that there should be some serious mishaps happening in their squad for them to miss out on the first place in this group. So that was England, and now we are moving on to their opponents in the Group B, and first of these opponents will be Iran. And as we all know from the media, they have been in the middle of attention for all the wrong reasons lately and not because of football.
Yeah, even Sepp Blatter said lately that they should be removed from the World Cup because of all of these political reasons. But let's move politics
out of the way.
Out of the way, that's right, because we all know they aren't gonna move anywhere now. It's way too late. And let's focus on their biggest star.
And their biggest star at this moment would probably be the Porto striker Mehdi Taremi. He had a great last season and he has started off this season on fire with even 5 goals out of 5 matches in Champions League. And some things like that just go to show how much the timing of this championship makes a part of in these things, because if someone asked me the same question 6 months ago, I would definitely say Serdar Azmoun. He was balling out in Zenit, but since he came to Bayer Leverkusen, he has only scored once in Bundesliga in 17 matches.
I also need to add that Iran is one of the oldest teams in whole World Cup, because let's just have a look. One of their youngest player isn't below 23 years old. Majority of them are like 26, 27 and in their 30s. So maybe let's just move to the United States and let's not talk about any breakout players.
So the next team are United States. After missing out on qualifying for 2018 championship in Russia, that they missed due to final round loss against Trinidad and Tobago.
Also, that loss made every sports media in the United States have a talk about their state of men's football. In comparison, their women's football were world champions back then and still is one of the top teams in the world. And for men's national team of football, their biggest success were in 2002 when they almost went into the semi-final. Also, back in the 60s, they made some biggest surprise versus England, which is gonna be one of their opponents also this year. And also, I think most of us might remember their draw match versus England 1-1 in South Africa in 2010.
And yeah, someone who would potentially lead them to those big expectations in this World Cup would be LeBron James of soccer. So, one and only Pulisic. He is still young, but he has pretty big national team experience with over 50 caps for US and more than 20 goals. For his club Chelsea, well, maybe his best season was the season where they had to actually play younger players because they were transfer banned, but he's still constantly part of the team and he is playing good football.
So, as you mentioned, their opponent is gonna be Wales. So let's focus on them. This year's appearance is gonna be their first after 1958 World Cup in Sweden, where they made into the quarterfinal. Lately, they aren't in a very good shape. They even lost almost every match in UEFA Nations League. They only drew one match, 1-1 versus Belgium, and they lost 2 times versus Poland and the Netherlands. So I think expectations here are quite low.
Yeah, I would say they are quite low, especially with their aging squad. So their biggest stars are players in their 30s, and I think still their biggest star would be Gareth Bale. He recently scored a goal to make it 3-3 in the MLS finals, and they actually won the title after penalty shootout.
And just to finalize our talk about Wales, I really need to add that in the last 2 big tournaments, which were Euro 2016 and Euro 2020, they advanced into the knockout stage. So, Serjan, what are your final predictions for Group B of this World Cup?
Well, Wales does play really well in these big tournaments, but I would have to say that this being a last tournament of their best players, I would still have to put them in the third place. Unfortunately, I would still say that England is going to be the first in the group. I think that US has the potential to come at second place. Wales would probably be third, and Iran, even though they always play nice on the eye football under Queiroz, that they are still going to be the last ones in Group B.
And maybe I will try to say that the United States are gonna shock the world once again, and maybe this time they will win against England. So I will say United States, England, and then Wales, and on the last place Iran, because why not?
So guys, that would be it for the Group B, and if you like this episode, please like, share and subscribe to our channel, and see you tomorrow with the Group C.
See you guys, and thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye guys.